Good evening, everyone. My name is Carlo Flores, Clubhouse and Dual Language Director for Together. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to tonight's 7th annual Celebrate Together Gala. I am thrilled that you are all here with us this evening. We wish we could be celebrating in person, but most importantly, we are grateful that you're here. Together is on a mission to advance the health and well-being of all young people. This is why we work hard and do what we do every single day. Tonight is about celebrating our mission and innovative programs and the resilience of the students and families we serve in partnership with so many, including you. Right now, I'm honored to take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we work, live, and play. This evening, I will take you on an adventure. You may sit back, relax, and listen to some of our wonderful Together team members talk about why our work matters and the difference your gifts make. Together truly is a wonderful place to be. It is an honor to be here as an MC representing our staff and the amazing work we do in our communities. This year as an organization and in our communities, we have focused on healing and expanding. Since our last gala, Together has grown from a clubhouse program located at 4 North Thurston Public Schools and a community schools program at Tumwater and Yelm to now community schools programs located not only at Tumwater, but also now Olympia. Another great addition to our organization is our Host Homes program, which just took off this January after more than a year of building the framework. How amazing is that? Growth, innovation, creativity, and success. As we move through the evening, we will learn about all of our wonderful programs. But before we do, have you heard about our Best Dressed contest happening during our event live stream? If you're dressed up from the waist up, you can post your pictures to the Together Facebook or the 7th annual Celebrate Together event page on Facebook to enter and win a gift card to your choice of Asho, Gotti Sweets, or Nicole's Bar. Unfortunately, I can't win. Also, immediately after our live stream, we hope you'll join us for our VIP virtual after party sponsored by Soul on Fire. As a friend of Together, you are invited. Look for details in the streaming platform or the email you registered with. For everyone that gives exactly $32 before 7:30 p.m. on our gala day, and keep in mind, you can give more in a second donation, so feel free to still give bigger if you can. You'll be entered to win a phenomenal coaching package courtesy of Sarah Lloyd at Soul on Fire. Thank you, Sarah. In addition, I am super excited to announce 2 things to help double all donations. We are overjoyed and honored to report that thanks to Drew Phillips and the Collins family and Collins team Fairway Mortgage, we have 2 matching gifts challenging you to give big in celebration of Together. Thanks to their incredible generosity, we will be doubling every donation up to $28,000. Amazing, right? But we need your help to make that happen. If you haven't already, we invite you to join us and our matching gift partners and sponsors now by making an investment in student and family well-being. There are so many ways to give displayed on your screen, and it only takes a moment of your time to make a gift that makes a difference. Here's a question. When's the last time you did something that only took a moment but had an immeasurable impact? Let's take an inside look at our Host Homes program. Host Homes program is a community-based, short-term housing response to help meet the needs of unaccompanied high school students in North Thurston and Tumwater school districts. Our program director, Gabby Hyre, and the Host Homes teams have poured their hearts into developing a program that addresses the unique housing needs among houseless and at-risk youth not already served by shelters or foster care. Together's Host Home program will be the first of its kind in Thurston County and is beginning to match high school students with host housing right now. Wow. Let's take a deeper look at Host Homes together.
My name is Gabriela Hyre, and I go by Gabby. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Host Homes Program Development Director.
My name's Mitchell. I am a previous Host Homes student.
I'm Kim Reinhart. I'm currently the Executive Director of the Mason County Host Home Project. I got involved quite by accident. I ended up coming across this ad for this little fledgling program in a rural county, and it fueled every bit of the humanitarian and community worker in me, and I switched gears from solid social work to host homes.
My why for being a part of Together since day one, hands down, identifying with the mission, advancing human rights, racial and social justice, being a person of color, a woman of color, identified woman of color, and raising children in this community. I find that my beliefs, my personal beliefs are congruent with what I'm doing for a living.
I think that the connection started almost instantly, but I would say the part that really sticks out to me would have had to have been the time where you brought in your guitar, because you told me, you asked me what was the one thing that I had regretted getting rid of when I was using drugs. And I had told you that I was really, really disappointed in myself for getting rid of my guitar. It was something that had been important to me, and I had sold it for drugs. And so you brought in your guitar one day and you gave it to me, and you said, here's the deal. You either graduate and you keep this guitar, or you don't graduate and I take the guitar back. And it was your personal guitar. And that right there just gave me like that extra drive that I needed to get through the time that I was in right there. I know that at that time I was very close to not graduating. It was right on the cusp. And so, you know, when you gave me that extra push that I needed and got me through it, and that right there, to have something that personal from you meant a lot to me. And that I think that's the part that sticks out to me most. Kim, where would you say that our connection came in?
Almost immediately, and we bonded over many sort of life things,
Yep.
you know, like within 15, 20 minutes. But
For sure.
that really happens a lot in that office, because I focus so much on interpersonal relationships,
Sure.
and then filling in, you know, whatever youth want around that. But we start with like looking each other in the eyeballs and saying, hey, you know, you want a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
So it was immediate with you.
What this program can potentially do for our community is, one, keep young people within the community safely housed, stably housed, so that they can pursue education, high school, understanding that individuals who do not complete their high school education or earn a GED are at risk for young adult homelessness, chronic homelessness. And this model has the potential to stop or prevent, maybe not with everyone, but at least create a positive impact in our community to where there is some kind of a support for young people, young high school students who may not be accompanied by a parent and are possibly experiencing homelessness or instability in housing, to receive the support they need to make it across that graduation stage.
So I've always had a song for you. When I was in, I can't remember, I think I was maybe in my early 30s, this soundtrack came out, this movie where this person was accompanying these geese on a flight, and because these geese had lost their way, and he like incorporated a machine in and like guided them to where they were supposed to be. And on that soundtrack, there's a song by Mary Chapin Carpenter called 10,000 Miles. And it's your journey, you know. And like my part is to like make sure you get where you're supposed to go, if that's what you want. And so I'm very proud of you. I'm glad that I get to be part of your life, back then and now.
For those of you who are watching on camera and don't know, I haven't had much of my mom in my life. My mom cut out when I was 15, and before that, there wasn't really much from her. She was focused on my stepdad and those kids and the family that she had with him, and not what me and her had before that. And so, you know, motherly love is hard to come by.
Just because adults failed you and life failed you and systems failed you doesn't mean that you deserve it any less then or now. I appreciate your trust in me, your continued trust in me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when someone gives to the program, it's an investment in community, an investment in people. And with regard to this program, it creates opportunity for young people, once again, to remain housed in their community. And not just remain housed, but become active members within that community. And I think that is one of the very valuable parts of investing in this program.
Coming from where I've come from and being where I am now, I know for an absolute fact I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you and for Host. I would bet every single penny that I have, every penny that I'm gonna make for the next 50 years, that I would not be here to this day. I've thought about it so many times, how if I hadn't have had your support and you to really be there as like my backbone in a time that I didn't have a backbone, I probably would still be on drugs, or I would have gone back to drugs or gone back down that road at some point in time, because like I said before, you literally gave me my definition of hope. Like you gave me a chance at really having a life. You gave me a shot at having something better than what I thought of myself.
I would just say that it's my job to hear that and know that that's your reality, and know that I've always seen you as incredibly successful, and knowing just by the things that you said about what you wanted for yourself that you would get there. And I appreciate the heads up, but it begins and ends with you, and you've been brilliant the whole time, right? I just follow you, right? I just try to reflect back to you, and you take it off and run with it. So I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate that glow up, and it's always been you. It's always going to be you, right? Because it's given me hope as well, and the ability to dream as well. I have a canvas that I get to paint around this and participate in, and have other people add to the canvas. And so this program is necessary in every community. If I had my way about it, it would be in every community in Washington State. I am looking forward very much to Together and what they're doing in Thurston County as a piece of many different host home pieces across the state, and weaving all of that together to create a certain kind of broad-based hope for both rural and urban youth. It is an amazing program. Together is an amazing organization. This idea is a successful one. It's not even a question anymore because we have plenty of data about it. So I have been honored to be involved at this level with both Together and this movement, and will continue to throw myself at it and try to create change for youth, because it's been a bit of grace in my life. So thank you.
Together's in the community. Together is not only a building, it's entrenched in the community, been a part of the community with long-lasting relationships over 30 years now. I think that there's some truth to what's being done. There's those relationships and that time and commitment within the community. So I guess that's why I would say that.
Host Home's model is designed to work hand in hand with other important services, including community schools. What's community schools? Struggling students and their families have a hard time navigating the maze of services. There may be plenty of resources in the community, but rarely is there someone on the ground who is able to connect these resources with the schools and students that need them the most. Through the school-based coordinator, we bring these local resources into the school where they are accessible, coordinated, and aimed towards the same goal. Our community schools team are boots on the ground and a trusted face in school buildings. Their work is to advance equity and educational justice by meeting basic needs and changing systems. It's important to understand that equity is different from equality, and that equality means that all students get the same thing. When we strive for equity, it means that every child and family gets what they need instead of one-size-fits-all approach. In 2021, we were saddened to leave Yelm, but honored to be able to extend our community schools footprint from Tumwater and our clubhouse sites in North Thurston to add service within the Olympia School District. Now, we'll hear about the work and the impact directly from our community schools directors and staff members.
My name is Michael Dennis. I am the Director of Community Schools for the Olympia School District.
So my name is Sierra Abrams, and I am the Tumwater Community Schools Director.
I'm Cameron, and my position with Together is the Olympia Community Schools Manager.
Yeah, my name is Aaron Pulaski, and I'm a Tumwater Community Schools Manager for Peter G. Schmidt, Black Lake Elementary, and Little Rock Elementary.
I'm Diana, and I am a community schools manager. I work at 2 middle schools, and I am focusing on helping the students with emotional, social, and academic enrichment.
My name is Courtney Prothero, and I am a Tumwater Community Schools Manager for Together. I work in 3 of the elementary schools in Tumwater: Michael T. Simmons, Tumwater Hill, and East Olympia Elementary.
So I'm Serena Corpus. My role at Together is a community schools manager. I've been working in 2 schools, middle school Jefferson and Thurgood Marshall.
Well, my name is Stephanie Lopez. I am a community schools manager at Tumwater High School, and I help service families and students within the high school, assisting with basic needs, making sure they have like clothes, hygiene supplies, food, government assistance, rental support, things of that nature.
My name is Polly Schreck, and I'm a community schools manager with Together.
This is the first year that we have been in the Olympia School District. My job is help to implement our program within the district.
I direct the program in Tumwater for Community Schools. There's a team of 3 right now that are at the elementary schools and the high schools, and we do case management with students and families at those schools.
I wanted to work in a community where we are focused on building equitable resources for students. And after just looking into the agency and what they provide, honestly, the question really is how could you not want to be a part of that?
My mother's a teacher, so I grew up being around educators, and I've just always loved the vibe. They have so much energy and positivity and curiosity. And so I just always wanted to work in that kind of an environment where there's educators and kids learning and just lots of cool different things to do and to help out with, just being able to be a small part of it with Together. It's just a wonderful experience.
One of the challenges of implementing our program this year is that we are still dealing with COVID. And this is the first year of our program, so a lot of the schools didn't have a full understanding of what we can do and how we can support students and families that are in need.
The impact of not having the community schools program in Tumwater would mean that there would be a lot of students and families that would fall through the cracks because the schools do so much for the families, but there's a limit to what they're able to do with their own capacity. And also there's certain things that only community schools managers can really do, like Together writing rent checks for people, hand delivering them to their landlord, or making home deliveries of supplies, especially with struggles with COVID and shutdowns and things like that. Like, we are bringing supplies to people who can't come to the school or who aren't able to be present. And so I think if we weren't there, there would just be a lot of families that wouldn't be able to access the services they need from the school.
I had a family it's a family of 7, so the parents and 5 kiddos. And they were really outgrowing their current home, and they didn't have a whole lot of income. Dad was out of work because of COVID, and they were just really getting stressed out with the whole situation itself. And they reached out to me. They had worked through other organizations and through government resources to get into a new place. And they finally got the okay to do it. However, they were kind of surprised when they heard that you have 48 hours to pay us over $6,500 for moving costs. And so I had spoken with the mother and the father. They came into my office and they were freaking out. Like, mom was crying. It was just a really, really tough situation. And, we have a lot of resources for stuff like this, but that's a lot to ask for. So I got together with the finance team and with my director, and we worked something out, and we were able to get them into their place, and they could not have been more grateful. I mean, they were sending me pictures of their new home, and again, the mom was touching base with me. It just felt so good. The mom was crying of happiness just with being able to finally move into this new place. They've been working on it for years, and so it just felt, I remember that day just having this warm feeling in my stomach for what together and I was able to do to help this family out.
So something that I'm really excited about is getting to do a support group over at Freedom Farmers. So this is where I will be providing a space for the teenagers to come together and talk about maybe the struggles they've been facing during the pandemic, any mental health things. So it's really just a space that is for them to be able to come together, talk, support each other, and it's actually going to be a student-led group where they get to do it all, and I'm just there for support. So I'm really, really excited to be able to provide that for them.
I really believe in the power of community schools as a model. So our model is, we have community schools managers at the schools. They're embedded in the community and they know the school community and the students and the families and, the Tumwater community in general. And so I really feel like that is such a strength to be able to know what the community needs and how to support them and, how to make those connections. So I think that's a big reason. Another reason is that we've been doing a lot of work with the city of Tumwater to prevent eviction. And so we've been able to leverage a lot of funding to prevent eviction of families in the Tumwater community. And so that's one of the most powerful things that we do and that I really am excited that we're able to do as a program.
When people donate to Together, they are donating to an organization that provides direct service to students and families in need. And it helps to support our after-school and in-school programs, whether it is a lunch bunch, our zine programs, or our academic support programs. We also use that money for enrichment programs throughout the year and then special holiday and break programs so students and families are still able to get the resources that they need throughout the breaks in the academic school year.
Yeah, Together has a huge impact on the people we serve. I mean, I've literally worked with families that would not be in a house right now if it weren't for Together. They would be on the streets. A lot of families rely on us and they really become kind of part of the program in the sense they feel almost like a volunteer, in a way. A lot of the people that I've met, once they've had, connections with some of our community schools team, they feel like part of the family, they're sometimes I'll just have clients reach out to me just to see how I'm doing. Hey, how are you doing? Is there any donations we can bring to you? Things like that. So it has a huge impact.
Just like host homes being designed to work optimally in concert with community schools, our Clubhouse program also works best when paired with community schools. Before I share a little bit more about Clubhouse, I'd like to share a little bit about my history with Clubhouse. I have been serving our community with the Clubhouse programs for almost 5 years. During my time, I have seen the struggles our students and families face on a daily basis pre-pandemic. From immigration to identity exploration, we have all seen the chaos and heartache this pandemic has caused for many. It only intensified the already known struggles to the communities we serve. Our students need healing. Their families need to heal. We all need healing. None of this work is possible without acknowledging the importance of social justice and equity in the work that we do. These critical components take the opportunity to treat all students equitably so that they feel safe and secure, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Regardless of the systematic privileges we either got or didn't at birth. Clubhouse helps bridge the educational gap. Our staff is dedicated and committed to the well-being of our students. We now have a Clubhouse family liaison, also known as a community schools manager, who looks out for the families of the students that we serve. From rental assistance to winter gear, we will ensure our students and their families are safe. In this way, not only does Host Homes operate in conjunction with community schools, but community schools operates in concert with Clubhouse. By partnering with North Thurston Public Schools, we are able to add additional support to the district. Clubhouse is a bilingual program focused on linguistic liberation. Clubhouse is a place, a program, a home where students learn, grow, explore, and thrive. Clubhouse serves Nisqually and Chinook Middle School, Lydia Hawk, and Pleasant Glade Elementary Schools. Now let's take a moment to meet Kaira Gomez-Garcia, director of our Clubhouse program, and some of the amazing students and staff.
My name is Kaira Gomez-Garcia, and I am the Clubhouse director. So 4 years ago, I started as an intern at Together. What really drew me was the idea to be in schools. I always wanted to work with youth, right? And I was finding my way in that, and what capacity I could serve youth. Once I learned about Clubhouse and their before and after school programs, and that their picture wasn't so much just about youth, but it was about youth and families, and it was about academics, but also social emotional components, and right, bringing in everything about a youth, right? Not it being solely focused on their reading scores and their math scores, right? But taking in more factors. And so I became really interested in Clubhouse, and I started as a facilitator and worked my way up as a site coordinator and now a director. Yeah, my day-to-day looks very different depending on the day and what is going on. In our funding year, we do all sorts of things. I make sure that sites are functioning, that every site coordinator has what they need for daily operations, meetings with partners and securing funding, and overall just making sure everything runs smoothly. Yeah, I would say that the most rewarding aspect of my job is really being with the kids. When I go to site and I visit with all of the youth that we serve, it's amazing to see their growth, right? We have from first grade all the way through 8th grade, and a lot of students stay throughout the entire program, and we get to see them when they're itty bitty and coming in, and when they're going off to high school, and it's extremely rewarding to see the impact that we have on them and that they have on us. But we explain it to them that there's teachers, and our site coordinators are like mini principals, right? And then I'm like the superintendent that comes in, and we're like, making sure that they're all taken care of. And they love that idea of like just seeing, right, who's there, and the adults that are showing up for them day after day. Mm-hmm. It's really beautiful to see. So the mission of Together is to advance the well-being of all young people. And Together is a very beautiful blend between public health, right, and youth and education, and it brings the two. But in that, right, there's many pieces that perhaps aren't seen, right, that overlap in both public health and in youth and education. And what that looks like at Clubhouse daily, right, at sites, is that we factor in a single youth and we break down, right, what's going on at home, right, how can we help their school life, but also, right, perhaps in their family, right, how can we provide resources, how can we assist and connect them with counselors and better relationships with teachers, and really bring in a bigger picture. The successes that Together has brought, right, and Clubhouse specifically is what I can talk about in our schools, is a sense of community, right? We bring in youth that maybe don't have classes together, right, or otherwise wouldn't hang out and know each other. And we bring them together under a safe environment, right, where we explore different possibilities, and we take them out on fun field trips, and we provide resources to their families. And so we really focus on the whole youth, everything that comes with a person, right? Humans are so complex. When there are donations to Together, we directly bring that to the community, right? It translates into materials, into as simple as sketchbooks and markers and pencils for our youth, and as big as opportunities. That means resources, that means groceries, that means rental assistance, utility bills. That also means amazing field trips where youth can experience national parks for the first time in their life, or go to the ocean and pick up live fish with their hands. And so a donation is a direct impact to the youth and to our community as a whole. Youth are our future, right? They are our future policymakers, they are our future educators, they are our future, and we need to protect and invest, right, in their development, because they will lead, right, what our future looks like.
Like Kaira said, youth are our future, and we need to protect and invest in their development because they will lead what our future looks like, what your future looks like. So now we ask you, if you haven't already, to make a significant investment in our youth and in our shared future. When you make a donation tonight, you'll keep host homes, community schools, and clubhouse students and families supplied with the necessary clothing, materials like instruments and school supplies, and connections with trusted adults to nurture each student's unique spark for learning and for life. Your contribution will help families facing homelessness as a result of systematic oppression find a stable place to live, to call home, pay heavy bills, and overcome transportation barriers to important services. Our 3 great programs need your support and investment now. Please join us on our mission by making a gift to host homes, community schools, and clubhouse now as we fight for educational justice together. What makes Together so special is the time and attention they give to clients and listen to their story. We work together on solutions that best meet their needs. The families we serve will gain confidence in knowing they are not in it alone. Children matter and are heard, seen, and valued just as they are. Lastly, here are a few words of gratitude from Together's Executive Director, Megan Darrow.
Hey everyone, I'm Megan Darrow, Executive Director of Together. I'm so proud to be working in community with Kahlo and all the staff you met tonight. Our organization is strong, vibrant, and full of love for the kids, families, and communities we serve. We cannot do this work without you all watching tonight. We are so thankful to all who have donated and who are still going to donate to advance our shared vision that all young people are supported, healthy, safe, and valued. In the year ahead, we are committed to partnering with students, families, schools, and our partnering organizations to move the needle on student and family well-being and belonging. We commit to standing in solidarity with those furthest from social and racial justice, and we do this with all of you, with our students, families, and communities. Your donations tonight will help more than 30 unstably housed youth get into a host home this year. Your donations will help us meet the basic needs of hundreds of students and families across 20 schools in 3 school districts. And your donations will help us provide over 300 hours of free, fun, engaging academic enrichment and social and emotional support, as well as culturally relevant family engagement to over 200 Clubhouse students and their families. But we can't do our work without you, our supporters, friends, families, partners, and community. Thank you for joining us as we strengthen community, advance equity and educational justice, and continue to change systems in 2022 and beyond. Up next is the VIP after party for all attendees, sponsored by Soul on Fire, immediately following this program. I'll be there. Everyone registered tonight received a VIP Zoom invite in your email because you're all VIPs. Join in on the fun and find out who won Dressed Up from the Waist Up contest. Hear how amazing we're doing as a community, raising needed funds in support of Together's big mission, and find out who wins the amazing Soul on Fire coaching package. On behalf of Together, our programs, clients, partners, and board, thank you for joining us on a mission to advance the health and well-being of all young people. We hope you enjoyed the incredible stories and that those stories served as a reminder of the deep impact your collective investments make in the journeys of these resilient youth and their families. I hope you'll share the impact of this event with your people and encourage them to join us in giving to Together's mission, as well as by sharing this video far and wide. Every donation, no matter the amount, is highly valued and greatly appreciated. Thank you again for your generous support and for joining us tonight.